Welcome back, everybody. While I'm pulling my screen that I'm going to share up with you, I want to give you fair warning. Pause this video before I cover the um, uh, title of the video, and I go into that in the first video. If you haven't watched the first one, I want to encourage you to do that. But before I say it, I don't want you to have your speakers up loud if you're have kids around or somebody who's going to be offended by the title. There is rationale behind the title. I won't go into it. It really has to do with why I'm a big LinkedIn fan and why I think it's needed for business and for employment. And then number one, the rationale behind the reason that I'm a high class LinkedIn hoe. I'm not just a LinkedIn hoe. So again, I cover that, and I'll cover the prior top 10 items, number 10 through number 5, and before we get into number 4, number 3 here. But again, take it with a grain of salt. It's clickbaitish. I fully admit that, but again, it's true in terms of what I'm saying. Also, there's nothing here that what I'm saying in terms of the rationale for why I do what I do, and there's benefit to being that as well. So take a look at the first one, and before we get started, also do me a favor: if you find value in the information I share with this series or the other series, give me a subscribe, a thumbs up, and an alert button. I'm going to jump into number 10 and briefly cover what we covered in the prior videos, but you'll have to go back and listen because I cover it in much more detail. LinkedIn offers a great tool for research. It offers a great tool for research for, whether you're looking to, get hired by a company, or whether you're a competitor of a company and you have a small business and you want to kind of see what they're doing. A lot of information gets put out there, and a lot of times there's alumni groups out there as well for companies that for former employees, that there's a lot of good information that if you're trying to figure out what's going on or looking for another resource that might have some competitive intelligence that you might be able to hire, maybe that's the way that you do it. So won't go too much into that. Watch the first video. Number 9, recruiters use it as a primary hiring tool. So the more connections, which is thus the title of the, that I have for the video series, the more connections you have, the better chance you have of getting hired and found. And that's a good thing. You want to show up in searches. I get between 100 and 200 searches that I appear in on a weekly basis, and I get a ton of instant messages asking if I'm interested in something. So that can benefit you whether you're looking to be hired or if you have a business. Maybe they're reaching out to you because you have that expertise. You've thus spun off your company into growing it a little bit more than what you currently were doing, but it's also in alignment with what that company is looking to hire for. And maybe it gives you a key to know that maybe there's opportunity for my small business. Number 8, hiring managers use LinkedIn to confirm resumes during and before interviews. There's a difference between a recruiter and a hiring manager. A recruiter is the person that helps the hiring manager fill a rec, right? And they'll reach out. The recruiter is the one that reaches right out to you. The hiring manager is the person or the team that is hiring for that position, right? So they'll use it a little bit differently. And how I use it and how I have my team use it, when we get those resumes from the recruiters, we vet it to see if the recruiter hasn't just had them change their job or their resume up just to be, have the conversation and to have, be interviewed. And we'll vet that against what's on LinkedIn. It's a lot more time consuming typically to go in and make sure everything's aligned. And a lot of times it's last second by the recruiting manager, and that person hasn't gone back in and made the changes to their current LinkedIn profile also. And right there, that's a clear giveaway that there's something not copacetic with what's being submitted. And so again, integrity will, if you don't have any, will hurt you in the long run in terms as far as I'm concerned. And then LinkedIn is a great way to, offer and generate warm leads. And again, the cold leads and cold calling versus warm leads is a much higher percentage of conversion. So you can do your own due diligence on there. I'm probably going to do a sales series at some point in time, but again, if you can leverage it from either from a, hiring, or if you're trying to get a job, or from a small business perspective, you need to do that. Number 6, you got to use, and you can use and should use LinkedIn to brand your business. Even if you're not looking to get a job, you should have a business presence out there because you are probably going to hire somebody. And again, it's also a great way, as I mentioned, for you to use the tool for research. So again, not going to rehash that whole thing. Listen to the prior video and you can hear in depth of the reasons why I cover this one. And then LinkedIn also offers professional group creation. So if you have a specific and narrow vertical that you have expertise in, maybe it benefits you personally from a job standpoint or a promotion standpoint or a business standpoint to start a professional group. If you are excellent, your company basically does Python programming. Maybe you want to start a group or join a group about Python programmers, and you can either look for it to hire people, or maybe you're hearing some trends in the industry that might give you an advantage in terms of how to pivot your business to be more competitive, to get better contracts, etc. So take a listen to the prior video and you can hear more in depth what number 5 is and why I covered it. Number 4, you can leverage LinkedIn to recruit for your business. And so covered that basically in the prior ones, but I know that there's other job tools out there. Maybe you like Indeed better than anything else, right? ZipRecruiter. There's so many out there that you can use. Career Builder, Monster. I'm not going to tell you which is the right one and which is not, but LinkedIn is different than just a resume repository, right? It has so many ways to connect with people. And again, it allows for keyword searches. Most of the other ones do as well, but if you're recruiting for your business and you find somebody who is currently actively engaged in, like, let's say Amazon Web Services, right? And maybe Amazon's doing some things that are cutting edge, or they're trying to, cut into the healthcare business, and you're trying to actually recruit away somebody who's very familiar with Amazon Web Services, and you want to hire a solution architect for a project or a contract you've just gotten that's going to leverage Amazon Web Services. Maybe you use LinkedIn to lure them away and make them your prime in terms of bringing them over to your business, so that'll help you secure that contract. There's so many advantages for leveraging LinkedIn and how you can leverage that to really benefit you. I'm sure that you can list off a dozen different ways if you think about it, but again, we covered it before in number 6 there. If you don't have your business and your personal resume on LinkedIn, and you're trying to, leverage and pivot it to help grow your business or secure the talent that you need, you're missing out. Right. Number 3, LinkedIn is the best tool for connecting with work associates, right? So a lot of times you'll have developed, work friendships there that are cool, right? And you guys will go out, maybe you'll have a beer or something after work, or you'll have lunch together with people, but maybe they're people that you don't necessarily want to connect on your personal, Instagram or TikTok or whatever it is, Facebook, whatever social media platform you like to use. I typically don't accept friendships from people on my Facebook page, which is my primary. I know I'm an old guy, right? I have Instagram, I have them all, but my family and friends, my parents are older, and, that's their preferred method, and it's a way to just kind of connect everybody, right? But I don't necessarily want to connect with people that I'm currently working with on my Facebook, which is my primary right now. And the reason for that is I don't want them knowing what I'm doing with everything, or knowing I may say some things that I may not want to have said in the workplace. Not that they're that controversial, but there's some things that are political bombs, and I don't mean from politics including, but there's all kinds of topics that I may discuss on Facebook that I would never discuss in the workplace. And I don't necessarily want to expose myself to having the freedom of having those conversations on Facebook with my workplace team. So again, while I'm currently working in a position, I'll definitely accept the LinkedIn request that's there, and communicate from that standpoint. But unless I've developed a true friendship that I feel very comfortable or aligned with people that I would connect with on Facebook, I typically will decline those Facebooks. And this is a great way to still stay connected in a social aspect that allows you to potentially bridge that gap. So that's it. I'm going to stop the video, and then we'll reconnect and cover number 2. As usual, if you find any value at all in what I'm sharing, would love it if you would subscribe, if you'd click the thumbs up and hit the alert button, and then also share this video or the playlist or the series with people that might also find value in this and in the content that I'm sharing.